Hi guys, so here is my day one with my 4-year-old Mustang mare. If you're new here, Lady and I are competing in the Meeker Mustang Makeover here in Colorado. Basically, I was assigned her to be my partner, and over the course of 120 days, I will be teaching her to overcome her fear and find the power, love, and self-control within herself. We are competing in the riding division, so I will be starting her under saddle after her groundwork's good. After the competition, she will be available for adoption via adoption auction, which you can learn more about at meekermustangmakeover.org. For day one session, I started out with just hanging out. She was pretty much fine with me being there. She was a pretty chill horse for the most part. I also pet her in the air with both my hand and my stick so that she'd get used to that motion. If she's not okay with air pets, then there's no way she'll be fine with me actually petting her. I'd like to say a quick thank you to FM Light & Sons for sponsoring Lady and I's journey. FM Light & Sons has been out in the West since 1905. Located in the heart of Steamboat Springs, Colorado, FM Light is a 5th-generation family-owned and operated Western store, providing authentic Western wear for authentic Western living. You playing with my jacket? Is it fun to play with? A while later, I went on to despooking her to the rope. I raised my hands like I was going to throw it over her back because eventually I want to throw it over her back, just not yet. I want her to get confident in the sight and the sound of the rope before we go on to the sensation of putting the rope on her back. I didn't push her that much as we were still building a relationship, but once we have more relationship, I'll start pushing her a bit more just so that she can become the best version of herself. But I have to be her buddy before I start doing anything more. I think of despooking as preparing my horse for stuff that may or may not be in my control. I can't always control what she hears, sees, or feels, so I'm going to prepare her for that so that when stuff happens outside of a controlled environment, she can be safe and successful and confident. My favorite Bible verse, which is the center of all my stuff with Prairie Diamond, is 2 Timothy 1:7. For we are not born with a spirit of fear, but a spirit of power, love, and self-control. I think this verse applies to horses too. Horses aren't born afraid. That's why domestic horses tend to be easier to train, because they haven't learned to fear much. A big setback in training is fear. So if a horse has never learned to fear, they tend to be easier to train. Mustangs were taught by their herd from an early age to be fearful to survive. When they are first born, they're no different than a domestic foal. But after the imprinting period, they learn to fear because they've imprinted on their mama's fearful mindset. They don't have a fearful spirit, but they have a fearful mindset. When working with Mustangs, I go a bit more out of the way to prepare them so that they can overcome that fearful mindset and retake their powerful, loving, self-controlled spirit, which allows them to truly live. a pretty mouthy horse. It's not that she's mean or anything, it's just that she investigates new things with her mouth. So you can see her play with the rope and such, which builds her confidence. Touched her flank, which she didn't like, so she tried to kick it off at her. I worked her feet about 5 laps either way so that she'd understand that kicking isn't necessarily the right answer, and then we regrouped and went on to getting her used to the rope on her legs so that she'll be more confident with it all over her. Once she was fine with the rope touching her, I worked towards petting her just with my stick to start. I started by petting her in the air with it, and then worked towards actually petting her. back to despooking her, I just put my string over her neck and her face, which will help when we're haltering later on. Once she was pretty comfortable with me, I worked on taking her tag off. this was actually the first tag I've ever gotten to take off myself, so it was pretty cool. Chester's tag was taken off before he was loaded in our trailer. She decided to bite her tag like it was an Olympic gold medal. I would like to thank my assistant video editor, Coda.